Hello, my name is Prince Sugiro, and this is group number 3. We're going to be answering questions in regarding to the case of Horniman Horticulture. Okay, I'll start off with answering question number 1, and question number 1 states, "What is going right with this business? What concerns you? What is your assessment of the financial performance of Horniman Horticulture?" First, I'll talk about what is going right with the business. As seen in the case, the net profit is increasing each year, which is a good thing for the business. And the next thing will be payable days are shorter each year, increasing supplies, and all that leads to the staff being happy because they are receiving more money quickly. With the net profit increasing, payable days shorter, that leads to the staff being happy, which is a good thing for the business. I'll move on to the concerns of the business. What I can say is a concern is the cash on the balance sheet is declined dramatically. So as you can see, it declined from 20,000 in 2012 to 9,400 at the end of 2015, and which is below our Marcus Brown target of target balance of 83,900. I'll move on to the assessment of financial performance. So increase in receivable and inventory days over the past years. So increase in receivable. This shows an improvement in better financing for the customers, and increase in inventory days. It means the business selling on higher margins, shifting the Brown's shift. Okay, that'll be the end of my slide. I'll pass it over to my colleague to continue.
In this slide, we will talk about company's cash balance. By looking at the slide, we can see that Horniman has failed to establish a sustainable account receivable policy that will help the company's liquidity situation by maintaining a robust available cash balance. In 2015, the account receivable in days for Horniman was 50.9 days, as compared to the industry average, that is 21.8. Horniman receivable days ratio is almost 2.5 times as compared to the industry average. Collecting its receivables month and a half after making the sale, the company is making 25% longer to get paid as compared to 2012. Additionally, as we look at the they have constantly expanded its inventory, largely financed by internally generated funds. A very strict policy has been kept for account receivable balance around 5,000, and the company's payable days ratio is 9.9, incredibly low as compared to the industry standards. If we look at companies' long-term debts, the company has no long-term debt. That could be one of the reasons they are using all their cash, the available cash, to buy inventory. Lastly, Horniman's inventory days ratio has been increased over the last 4 years. In 2015, it's 476 days, and the metric is almost 25% higher than the benchmark, that is 386.3. In spite of the much higher than average inventory days ratio, Horniman has justified keeping its inventory in stock much longer than its competitors by catering a business strategy of offering more mature products and take longer to reach a prime point and yield higher profit margin. Perhaps this strategy, paired with other smart management tactics that we have talked about, will help improve the company's cash flow situation. In this slide, we will talk about company's cash balance. By looking
Horniman Horticulture anticipates a 30% increase to revenues for 2016. Their prepared pro forma statement shows revenue of $1.363 million, cost of goods sold of $654,000 for a gross profit of $709,000. This translates down to a net profit of $79,000 for their 2016 year. Their total assets of their balance sheet will also increase by 30% to 1.536 million. However, there will be a difference of 266,000 that they will have to make up external financing to be able to sustain 30% increase in revenues. Maggie Brown might need to reconsider her accounts payable policy. Taking trade discounts to lower their expenses is a great idea. However, their high growth could require additional external financing in their future. Their current ratio shows 17.6 times, and their quick ratio only shows 3.7 times. This gives them enough to be able to cover their current liabilities. However, this shows that a large portion of their current assets are tied up in inventory. Their cash ratio only shows 0.2 times, which is not enough cash to be able to cover their.
There are a few alternatives that Horniman Horticulture can use to improve the issues they are facing with their cash balance. Firstly, they can implement policies where accounts receivables are collected in a more timely manner, which will lessen the receivable days ratio. This can also trickle over into an improvement in their payable days ratio and allow them to pay their suppliers quicker as well. The company's inventory days ratio is significantly higher than the market benchmark, and even though they list this as a strength, if they lessen their inventory size, they can have a quicker inventory turnover and generate more cash flow in a shorter period of time. They can also consider seeking small external financing so the majority of their cash flow isn't used and depleted on inventory, and so this number can increase over time as well.
The problem is that the company has been making questionable money decisions. They've been letting customers have longer periods to pay off their bills, which is increasing accounts receivable, but it is cutting in half the amount of cash available. They are also paying off suppliers with their cash balance, which is deflated due to the massive accounts receivable growth.